Well, hello there.
Hello.
The videos that I had planned to drop aren't necessarily well timed with how current events are going. Not that they were on the nose or anything, but it's just kind of eh. And I feel kind of funny. I don't really feel like doing an update video either. So somebody asked why I carry the P30. And about P30 series questions, I've been fielding a lot of them.
I don't believe you. What?
For 9mm, I usually carry a polymer pistol. I'll try to take advantage of what I can as far as weight savings versus carrying a USP 45 or HK 45 or 45C. So when I'm carrying a 9mm, I carry a P30, P30L very seldomly, but I have a VP9 or my Glock 17, which is currently in my battle belt, you know, for all those battles that I do.
Oh, you can't come back here.
Chicken sandwich.
Yes, but you can't come back here, sir.
But a few questions as to why the P30 series and why I'm endeared to the P30 series so much. Part of it was these things come from the factory so tightly sprung that you have to shoot them a lot. But it's not because I shot it so much that I'm now good with it. That's how the Beretta is for me. I've just fired Berettas so much that it's like second nature. With the P30 series, for those that have been around a while, you know, one, I like a minimum 4-inch barrel and 6-inch sight radius. A lot of guys are asking me why I'm carrying a P30 with a 5.85 sight radius and a 3.85 or 3.9-inch barrel, something like that. Doesn't meet my minimum criteria. There is a reason for that. First, this is going to be awkward to get in here because of all the lights on. Maybe I can put it at the end. Hey! Now this is condition 3 for the video. But in the holster, it weighs 2 pounds, 5.1 ounces. If it was plus up to 18 rounds, it's 2 pounds, 5.5, 5.6 ounces. Without the holster though, you're looking at a gun that has 18 rounds in it that's 2 pounds 1.9 ounces. That's very good, and it's Glock 19 territory, which is a standard measurement for carry guns, and that's with a 15 round magazine, so we're kind of in the same ballpark of, you know, what to have and what to carry. Now with the P30L, what's cool about this is also a 17 round magazine. 2 pounds, 3.5 ounces, and then with 18 rounds is 2 pounds, 3.9 ounces. So a negligible difference for a full-size pistol, which is awesome. That's one of the reasons these guns are so excellent and a lot of people like them, is because you get a lot of smooth shooting experience and full contact on the grip, and it doesn't weigh a lot, which is nice, but it's not so light or the internals aren't so poorly made that it's a harsh gun to shoot because it's lighter. Also with HK finally getting with the times, you're getting magazines that are proper capacities. You have a 17 round option and a 20 round option, and then plussed up you get 21 or 18. That's exactly where it needs to be, especially for a 9mm. 15 was the standard for a while, and HK always errs on the side of I want it reliable all the time versus getting a bunch of rounds in there and it may not work. After a while, when the springs have fatigued or something like that, HK magazines last a very long time and through a lot of cycles, which is good. You also get a full-size grip. Now I know this is a sort of commander style setup with this P30, and the P30L is a proper full-size, but it's very easy to draw, which I like. There's never a time when I've been, you know, doing this thing like you're pulling out a Glock 26 or a VP9 SK or even a P30 SK where you're pulling with 2 fingers. I get a full grip and it's not that long. So full contact, but I'm not sacrificing anything. It's not hyper long like some, and it's not too short. A Glock 19 is probably about as short as I like to go, but I don't feel comfortable on it. The 17 feels so much better. So it's a very nice package to just run. And with the barrel being slightly shorter than a Glock 19, it's poking me a little bit less. Also, these sights are excellent. They don't snag on anything, but you can very easily rack them on something to rack the pistol, which is nice. You also have the decocker back here. Now you could just run a V1 and not have any of these problems, but I like the V3 for the P30 series. The V1's not bad, and I may get back into one at some point, but for some reason the V3 just fits me better on this, and I love the LEM trigger. I prefer it on the HK45 series, but for me on the P30, this is where it's at. So this trigger is completely stock, by the way. This pistol is completely stock, and I bought it from my buddy like I have about 6 other guns. And he took really good care of it. It was babied. I bought it from him a couple years ago, and I've been running it ever since, and it's become my primary carry gun. Unless my boys are in town, then I carry a 17. But that notwithstanding, this gun just draws easy, and I like the hammer, especially when I'm holstering and unholstering. I prefer these without the lever because that's where I put my fat thumb. But, and what is nice is this is so large over here that reloads I can very easily just do that, and it's effortless. This also auto forwards all the time, so reloads are hyper easy, and I can always find the magazine well, even though it's not huge like my Glock 17. It's a really precise magazine well. You can get hung up on it easy, but I never do for some reason. I think it has something to do with this back here, this little shelf, and the way I reload, but some people might not like it. I don't know. But back to what I was talking about, and also some people might not like it. A lot of HK guys with USPs are used to decocking over here, but the P2000 guys and the P30 guys like the decocker back here. So let's say I've pressed my shots, I'm done shooting, I can decock it and then slide my thumb over to holster, which is very fluid. And if for some reason I holster and forget, in the holster I can just decock it without having to touch fire control or anything like that. It's very intuitive to use, and the more you use it, the more you prefer it. Just like the paddle magazine release, it's very intuitive and becomes preference. So I don't know why I like this little thing so much, but I do. And it shoots well for me. I don't have any issues. I'm able to draw it, get hits at 12 to 15 yards effortlessly, and I just enjoy it. It's such a nice gun to shoot. And it's smooth. Now it's not as smooth as the P30L because the recoil spring assembly only has the polymer buffer like the USP Compact 9, but it's still really smooth, and I shoot plus P ammunition through it all the time without any issues.
Julian! I don't know where I felt like I could get a little drink around here, do you, bud?
Without any issues. And again, this thing's 100% stock. I hated the P30 triggers when I first got them, and I was even on the HK Pro boards like, why aren't I better with this gun? And people, that was being a diaper baby, and this is before I was a mod, but people were really patient with me. They're like, just keep shooting it, keep putting 124 plus P through it, and it'll be fine. And it was, but when I first got them, these guns are so tight. You need about 500, sometimes even 1,000 rounds. This one was nice when I got it. My buddy shot, I think, about 700 rounds through it or something like that. It's at 1,500 right now with his count. But conversely, my P30L took a very long time to smooth out. I think when I got to 2,000 rounds, it finally started to loosen up a little bit. But they start real tight and they stay tight. So the springs loosen up, but you don't lose anything on the tolerances. This thing stays nice and tight. There's very little of anything. The tolerances are excellent. And I really do prefer the P30L by a significant margin. When I switched from the P30 to the P30L, it's easy mode activated, just super smooth to shoot. I miss a lot less, and doing the 100-yard shot is much easier with the P30L versus the P30, but that's more of a sight alignment thing and, you know, trigger manipulation. But it is easier with the longer sight radius. And despite the fact that that gun's 100% stock, which I shoot just fine, there's plenty of videos of me just drawing it and getting the hits I need, and I can hit exactly what I'm aiming at, exactly where I aim if I do my part with the P30. The P30L just makes it that much easier. Now I do have the Gray Guns short reset trigger kit in this, so this trigger is a little cleaner on the reset, and when I'm shooting at live fire it feels much better. But even if I've gone to the P30 and just shoot it, it works just fine. I have no issues. I'm able to draw it and do precisely what I want to do, which is what you want in a carry gun. It was definitely a labor of love to get here, and it's not because I shot them so much. They fit me very well. I don't have to fight the controls. Reloads are very easy, and shooting 124 plus P through these is a dream, especially out of the P30L. But the P30, even though it's a little more, I don't want to say it's snappy. A lot of guys will hear snappy and be like, oh, I'm not gonna like it because it's snappy. First off, it's a 9mm, calm down. Secondly, just, you know, hold on to it better and you'll be fine. But I don't squeeze it too much in anticipation of a harsh recoil. I just grab it and present it like normal, proper grip input, and I shoot it just fine. But these guns carry extremely well for me, and honestly, if you're looking for a full-size hammer gun, the P30L is definitely my recommendation. I don't want to call the P30 a full-size gun. It's kind of like a P2000 with a longer grip, or it would be similar to a Glock 45. I know all those 19X and Glock 45 guys will be in the comments. It's kind of like the P30 is a commander and the P30L is a full-size. It is what it is. But if you're looking for a hammer gun that's going to be smooth to shoot, intuitive to shoot, easy to run, reliable, gives you the 17 rounds on tap, and you can fit a full-size light on it, no issues. All those good things that you look for in a full-size pistol, but it's also light enough to carry, and if you're a hammer guy, the controls make sense. Definitely get the P30L. Now, if you're looking for a striker gun, I'm just gonna say Glock 17, call it a day. VP9 if you wanna do that, but I think the 17 is a little bit better choice than the VP9. But the VP9 hasn't let me down. I've got about 4,000, 4,500 rounds through it as well, so kind of splitting hairs, I guess. The VP9's really given me no reason to not trust it, and it's always been a stellar performer for me, honestly. But that notwithstanding, I usually carry the P30. It's almost always with me, unless, again, the boys are in town. And it's shot very well, been very smooth, and I love it. So if you're looking for a gun that's going to take care of you, it's hammer fired. The decocker is located in a smart location. If you have the V3, if you get a V1 light LEM, then you're set there too. It's even less snag opportunity with the LEM, and the LEMs are excellent guns if you prefer that trigger group. But honestly, you can't go wrong with a P30 series, but you definitely have to stick with it, and it's not going to have a hyper short trigger that you're used to. But the more you shoot it, the more it doesn't matter. I don't know. Definitely a labor of love, and not something that I would recommend to somebody who has a short attention span or isn't very patient. It's kind of like the road to lifting 225 for those people that bench, or deadlift really, but sometimes it takes a while to get off that 205 plateau to get to 225, and you're just sitting there grinding and you're like, I don't even know if this is going to get better. And then eventually it just does, and it gets hyper smooth, and then you can 10 set 225 like it's nothing. And that's how these guns are for me now, kind of like I am now. I can sit down and do 10 to 15 reps of 225 cold if I want. And it's the same with these. I can draw them, and it's effortless for me to shoot, and I can hit anything I'm aiming at within reason. I mean, the 100-yard shot's a little hard with this guy, I'm not gonna lie, but I still get them. I'm here.
take it.
The gun works for me, it fits me, and I run it well. What else can you ask for? Now this is gonna drop Sunday night, Monday morning, which is gonna be the 30th of April if it's Monday morning. For Memorial Day, just for those of us that have served, or you had family that served, just remember them how they'd wanna be remembered. Whatever that looks like for them and for you. For me, it's, you know, having a few beers and good company and having good times and remembering them the way that they would want to be remembered, which if it's me, I want everybody to have a good time and remember the times I made you laugh or any of those other things. So that's how I remember my boys. Don't forget the people that made impacts on your life, be it people you served with or people in the family, and, you know, try to have a good Memorial Day. As always, thanks for watching and take care out there.